All right, so this one might be just a little longer because we're dealing with Spanish verbs. What is a verb? Well, remember, a verb is an action word. And in Spanish, your verbs will change form depending on what the subject of the sentence is. So this first bit right here, these are the various subjects in Spanish that hopefully you remember from the previous chapter. So for example, yo, I, tú is the informal you, él, he, ella, she, and then usted, and that's the abbreviation for usted, you, but in the formal. Then, of course, we have nosotros, which is we, vosotros, which is you all, but in the informal. Ellos, which means they, but the masculine form. Ellas, which means they, but the feminine form. And then ustedes, which is the formal, you all. Okay, now just a couple things. If you notice, we have nosotros and nosotras. We talked about gender just a few pages ago. And so obviously if it's a group of people and if it's all men, it would be nosotros, we. If it's a group of women, then it would be nosotras, we. Okay, but remember in Spanish, if you have a mixed group, so let's say it's two guys and two girls, the default form is in fact the masculine, nosotros. Okay, so even if one of the girls is speaking, she would say nosotros. All right, now vosotros, if you recall from the previous chapter, is only used in Spain. Okay, and it means you all, and it is to ustedes as tú is to usted. So, friends, family, people you know, a group of friends, a group of family, a group of people you know. Okay? Usted, all right, someone older, someone you don't know, etc. A group of people who are older, a group of people you don't know. All right. Now, as you recall, vosotros is only used in Spain. Okay. Every other Spanish-speaking country uses ustedes for both formal and informal. In this class, you need to know the vosotros form. I am trying to teach you as complete a Spanish as possible. Okay, now moving on to the actual verbs, we have three types of verbs in Spanish. We have ER verbs, IR verbs, and AR verbs. This chapter focuses exclusively on AR verbs, but don't worry, ER verbs will come in chapter 2. When it comes to verbs in Spanish, okay, for example, hablar means to speak. Okay, so what you do is you remove the AR, and then depending on the subject, you would add one of these endings. Okay, so in this case, if the subject is yo, which means I, which is in the top left-hand square, then you drop the AR, and the O, which is in the top left-hand square, is the ending. So, yo hablo, I speak. Okay? If your subject is tú, which is the middle left, okay? So you drop the AR, you add AS, and it's tú hablas. Okay? If you want to use nosotros, okay, which is the top right. The top right is AMOS, so you drop the AR and you add AMOS. Nosotros hablamos. All right? And you do that for every other form. Now, obviously, your textbook explains it and has it all written out if you need to go over it. In addition, your textbook has the list of AR verbs that you need to know in this chapter. And for all of these, okay, it's the same rule. So for example, bailar, which means to dance. If you want to say she, ella, dances, then you drop the AR, cross it out, okay? Ella is the bottom left square, so the bottom left square is the letter A. So ella baila, she dances, okay? Any questions on AR verbs? Feel free to email.